Welcome back. Sweet Bailey YouTube. Gaming, DIY, landscaping, tips on being a better person and friend. Yeah. Hey, buddy. You coming out to help? Come on, good boy. Come on, we'll play ball. Good boy. Let's play ball. Alright, buddy wants to play ball real quick. Thanks y'all for joining us. Buddy. Oh, there's Misty. Woo! Misty. Buddy, get it. Ooh, yeah. Good boy. Oh, buddy's taking it in the house. Alright. So this is the video that you've all been waiting for. Husqvarna garden tractor. Boom. Husqvarna. Boom. TS 354 XD. Misty. Yeah. Buddy. Come on, buddy. So, I purchased this machine about 2.5-3 months ago. And it's a great machine. I'd highly recommend it to anybody that wants to spend about $3,600. I had someone comment on one of my previous videos and they said, why would you buy a $3,000+ riding lawnmower to mow your tiny trash filled yard? I thought that was actually kind of humorous because of how rude they are. Someone that has no idea who I am, that knows nothing about me, has nothing better to do than to insult me for no good reason. That's just messed up. So, tip of the day, don't be rude. Simple. If you have nothing better to do than just disrespect somebody for no good reason, then obviously you need to find something better to do. You need to think more positive. Maybe you should check out my YouTube channel. It helps people. I like to help people, and I think it does help a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know what common sense is, or respect, understanding, faith, honesty, loyalty, or being a good person. And I like to help people in seeing different perspectives on how to be a better person, how to be nicer, more respectful. Say you're driving down the highway and somebody waves at you. Wave back. It doesn't matter if you know them or if you don't know them. They took the time to wave to you, so just wave back. You know, it only takes a second, and it shows them that you're a decent human being. And if you're like, oh, I didn't recognize the vehicle, or oh, I didn't see you, or oh, I didn't know who you were, you know, that's just excuses of why maybe that person was an asshole, when they could have just been nice and, you know, just shared a little bit of kindness to a random person. You know, someone waves, just wave back. Someone says hello, say hello back. It's called common courtesy. Simple. And it is also called respect. So anyways, let's get right into the video. We're talking about the Husqvarna TS 354 XD garden tractor. And there's 3 kinds of riding lawnmowers in the universe. 1, lawn tractors. Low quality, affordable, small engines, cheap, and they don't last very long because they have between 10 to 15 horsepower engines, thin metal. They're just not built to last. And then you have yard tractors, which is pretty mid-range. They have bigger engines, more quality, more features. And then you have garden tractors, which have way higher quality. They're more for commercial use. They have more features, and they're built to last, and they're tougher, and they're, you know, they're more expensive, but they'll last you longer, so it's well worth it. So let's talk about the standard features and what I think about this machine. Standard features: brush guard, LED headlights, Kawasaki 24 horse V-twin engine. I've never seen a garden tractor riding lawnmower with a Kawasaki engine, so I found out about that, and it's like, I want that one. It's awesome. It's got the bigger wheels and tires, the modified 10 gauge steel modified deck, clear cut 54 inch with a thicker metal, so it'll last longer. It ain't just gonna split and crack. I've had other mowers with the little paper thin decks, but these are quite a bit thicker, and it won't crack and split when you hit a stick or something, and they're built to last. I was gonna get the 48 inch deck, but it was back ordered for about a month. I kept calling the dealership and asking them when they can get one, and it was back ordered for like another month, and I just didn't want to wait forever. So I just asked them, can you get a 54 inch? And there was one available, so they ordered it up. And the only difference between the 48 and the 54, they both have 3 blades, but the blades on the 54 are 2 inches longer than the blades on the 48, so your deck's a little bit wider. So when you're mowing, you will lose a little bit more power, but you'll be able to mow more area. And then it has the hydrostatic transmission, so you push the front one to go forward, you push the back one to go backwards. Very simple. And it has the high back seat with the armrests, and the one with the 54 inch deck and the one with the 48 inch deck are the only ones that have the high back seat with armrests. The rest of them have the lower quality seat that's shorter without the armrests. And then you have your dashboard. Down here you got the parking brake, cruise control, your ignition. So the first slot on your ignition is off. The second one shows a little mower with the arrow reverse. That means when it's running, you can turn it back one position, and you can mow in reverse without the blades shutting off automatically. The third position is run, and then the fourth one is to start. And then right here you have your engagement for the deck to turn the blades on and off. And over here you have your throttle lever, your choke, manual choke, your amp meter, and your hour meter, and your headlight switch. And over here you have your rear locking differential. It's got a locker. That's why it's higher quality than a lawn tractor, because lawn tractors don't have locker. And what a locker does is, say you're going up a hill, down a hill, or say it's wet conditions or something, one of your tires starts spinning and you lose traction and you lose your momentum and you can't go no further. So you stop, you hit the locker, turn it on, and then you can keep going, because it'll put more power to the ground, because it'll lock the rear end, and it'll put power to both the rear wheels instead of just one of them. So then you'll have more traction, more power to the ground, and you can just keep on trucking. And it's got the 7 adjustments for the deck height. Those aren't necessarily inches, it's just 7 different adjustments. A 4-gallon fuel tank under the seat there, with your fuel gauge there, and the deck. Another thing about the deck is it's a floating deck, and what that means is if you lower it down all the way and say you're mowing over a hill or something, and if you see right here, there's this slider. So if you're mowing over a hill or something, it'll float, and that means it won't, it's kind of heavy, so hold on a second, but it'll float. So if you go over a hill, it'll adjust itself, and it won't gouge, because it'll float, follow the contours of the ground, so it'll prevent damage to the land that you're mowing, which is very nice. I like that feature quite a bit. It's awesome. So that's about it for the standard features. Also, you have your 12-volt accessory plug-in there, so you can plug in like a lighter or whatever you want there. So that's very nice. And let's get right into the adjustments, modifications, customizations, and all that stuff. But first, if you like the video, if you like my channel, if you like my dog, you like the way I talk, you like the way I walk, hit that like button, subscribe, punch the subscribe button, pet your dog, give your dog tummy rubs. Dogs love tummy rubs. You know, have some kindness in your heart, and show love once in a while. Just be nice, and let's help make the world a better place, because it's a beautiful world, and we need to help preserve it and make it even more beautiful. So let's work together, be kind, share love, and support each other. So all I ask is hit that like button, and if you like my videos, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and watch my previous videos. It's the only way that the channel can grow, the only way that I can keep making videos and be motivated and inspired to keep helping all y'all. So please help me help you. Thank you, and take care. So let's get into the customizations, modifications, and adjustments. So first, adjust seat back. So on the seat, you have there's 3 bolts on the bottom and a big plastic wing nut. So if you loosen this, and then you have this slider here, so you can slide the seat up or down. And if you go down, it'll be closer to the steering wheel for, kids or, shorter people. Or if you go all the way up, it'll be for adults or taller people. So I adjusted mine all the way back because I'm 6'1" and I need all the leg room I can get. And that's that. So let's get right on to it. That's number 1. Number 2, slow moving decal. I was gonna get one of them slow moving vehicle signs, the metal ones, and I was just gonna bolt it to the back of the seat, but really that wouldn't have worked very good. So I just got this sticker. It's just a decal, and I just had to trim the edge of it a little bit to fit in between them brackets there, and I think it turned out really good, and I like that. Very snazzy. Number 2. Number 3, lower deck wheels. So when I first got this machine, I was looking at it, and I didn't think you could adjust the deck wheels because it looks like they're just fixed there. But actually, they are adjustable. If you look in the back, there's 3 holes for adjustment. And when you get it stock from the dealership, it'll be on the top hole, which means the wheel will be all the way up, which means the deck will be lower to the ground, and it'll gouge more and scalp the ground, and you want to avoid that. So I removed those, lowered them down to the middle, and put them back on. So now the wheels will hit the ground before the deck does, and it'll prevent damage to the turf and less scalping. So on these, the clear cut decks, it has 2 wheels on either side, and then 2 on the front with the rollers there. And it's a full floating deck, so if you go over a hill, it'll float up and down follow the contours of the land. So I like that very much. So that's number 3. Let's get to number 4. Glue brush guard rubber. So on these mowers, you have these heavy duty brush guards, and on the ends of them they have these rubbers that slide onto the tubing, and they're just like sitting on there. So before I glued it on there, if I literally took my finger and pressed on it like this hard, it would just come off. And like you see, I scraped something right there a little bit, and then this almost came all the way off, and I almost mowed over it, and I didn't like that. So then later on, after I cleaned it up, I pulled this back a little bit, I put some glue on there, and I glued them on there, so now they're permanent, they won't come off, and it's sturdy. So that'll be number 4. Misty, you think about tummy rubs? Oh, Misty, you and your tummy rubs, you silly girl, I know. Yeah, good girl. Alright, so that's number 4. So let's get to number 5. 3-stage chute adjustment. So on all riding mowers, they have what's called a grass discharge chute, which will shoot the grass out of the deck, and it's always on the right side of the mower. So let's say my notebook here is your yard or the property that you're mowing. I run a landscaping business, and I mow properties all over, not just my own. So that's why I bought this machine. Because yes, I do agree that it's not very practical to mow my own yard. It works good in my backyard because there ain't much obstacles, and I can mow it in about 1 minute. About 4 laps, and I'm done. Anyways, if you're mowing this property, and say you're mowing it counterclockwise, say there's a street over here, or say there's a sidewalk here, maybe a house over here, someone's car parked over here in the driveway. If you're mowing counterclockwise, then you're going to be blowing grass all over the street, all over the parked car, all over their house, all over the sidewalk, and you're just making a mess, and you could damage their property. You could break out a window, you could hit a rock and it would hit a passing car, or hit a pedestrian walking down the sidewalk, or what have you. So when you're mowing, you want to make at least 1 lap around the perimeter of the property that you're mowing. And then you can either stripe it, you're going to go down one side, turn around, and then come back the opposite direction. That's how you get those nice stripes on the golf courses, baseball fields, and stuff like that. Because they're going to mow one direction, turn around, and then come back. And they're going to work all the way across the area until it's done. And that's how you get the dark lines and the light lines and stripes. I worked on a golf resort for about 8 years, so I know how that works. So you have to make at least 1 lap around the outside. So don't mow counterclockwise, because you're going to blow grass all over the street or what have you. So mow clockwise. It'll blow the grass to the inside of the area you're mowing, and it won't cause no damage to nobody's property, and you won't have to worry about it, and it'll make less of a mess for you to have to clean up later. So I have 3 adjustments on my discharge chute. Right now the deck is all the way up, and the discharge chute adjustment is all the way down for standard mowing. And if I'm mowing, say, in wet conditions, or maybe tall grass that hasn't been mowed in a few months, or what have you, then I have the second position here that I can put on my chute. And that'll raise my chute up a little bit, so it works better for the tall grass, so it won't clump up or clog up when it's coming out of the deck. And it works better for wet conditions too. And remember too, so on the all the way down position, it works on all of my adjustments. And I regularly mow on 4. So if I lower that down to 4, and then we look at our chute here, it raised the angle of it up because the deck went down and the angle of the chute went up because it pulled it up because this bolt on the dash is stationary. So then let's raise our deck back up because the third adjustment is for not mowing. It's strictly for going through gates or loading it on a trailer or something. Because if you have your chute down, you're trying to load it on a trailer or something, that chute is almost 2 foot long and it'll take up a lot more area. So if you put it up like that, then you can go through the gate, load it on your trailer, you don't have to worry about it. So what I did was, on the chute there, the plastic part mounts to the metal with rivets. And when I was designing this, I was thinking, where's the best place to mount the eye bolt to lift the chute from, which obviously will be the furthest way away from the hinge for more leverage. So there was a rivet right here, so I drilled that out. I got an eye bolt, some nuts, and some washers, and then I ground it off flush with my angle grinder, smooth. Put a big nut, lock nut on there, and a washer so it won't catch a bunch of grass. And I got the heavy duty eye bolt there to hold that. So that works really nice. So that'll be that. And let's continue on here and get right to it. So that'll be number 5. Number 6, custom built storage box. So when you get these mowers stock from the dealership, they have a little storage box on the right side, and it's all plastic, and it's not very big, and in my opinion it's kind of a bad design. So here are some of the pieces that I have removed that was the old storage box. And this, it was kind of designed like that, and it was only 3 inches deep, and there was this weird little camel hump here kind of in the middle of it. So like if you put anything in there and you went down a hill, it would just fall out. It would hit that little hump and it would just go right over it. And I didn't like that. I didn't think it was very practical. I didn't think it worked very good. So I designed a better storage box for it. And yes, I took my Dremel and I had cut some metal off of this $4,000 riding lawnmower. I bought it. It's mine. I can do what I want with it. And yes, to make my custom storage box bigger, more practical, work better for me, I had to cut it up. So yeah, so that's the old style. The new style is 3x3 aluminum square tubing, and I did all the measurements. This was about 18 inches long, and the bulk of the box was actually about 9 inches long, and this was kind of the way it was. I had cut the top of the tube out for the box, so I have the sides, the bottom, and then on the ends here there's a 4-inch piece that I had removed the bottom part, and I wanted to leave the bottom part on it so I could fold that up, and that'll be the ends of my box, like this. So it'll have the sides, the bottom, and the ends. So then I folded them up, and then I had one solid box, one piece, and that worked really nice. So let's show you all that right now. Yeah. And if you likey, hit the like button, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And that's how the channel can grow. Hey buddy, good boy. I'd throw you a ball for you, but you took the ball in the house. So here's the storage box I made. I made it from scratch. And just remember, when I made this, I only used 4 tools. A hacksaw. Yes, a hacksaw by hand. It took a long time. It was a lot of hard work, but yes. I tried to use my Dremel. It didn't work. It was too big of a job for a Dremel. I tried to use an angle grinder. I didn't have a really good cutting blade, so that didn't really work either, so I had to use a hacksaw. Anyways, long story short, hacksaw, hammer, vise, Dremel. That's how I built this. And in the bottom was that 3x3 square piece of aluminum tube. And I'd cut the top off, and then I folded the ends up for the ends of the box. And I bolted them in with some little bolts and some nuts and washers, and then I had some diamond plate. This was a mud flap for a pickup truck. It was just a flat piece of diamond plate. And this was really hard to make this shape, because the shape of this is just so bizarre that it was really hard to bend that, because the far side sticks out further than this front side of this console here. And I had to cut it. I had to drill holes in this so I could get the hacksaw blade in there to cut this line right there. And then I had to cut it down the center right here too to get this hole opening. So I had to drill like 5 holes in there and then cut it with a hacksaw so that I fold the sides down, and then I had to cut all them pieces out there to bend it to make it the right shape. And it turned out pretty good for the tools I had. And I dremeled it smooth with the sander and made sure there was no sharp edges. And I think it turned out pretty good, because now it's about 1 inch deeper, metal, and heavy duty. And now you can put something in there and it won't just fall out. So we can take our notebook, throw it in there. Look at that. That ain't gonna fall out, because it can't, because that's gonna hold it in there. That's very nice, very nice. So it's bigger, metal, awesome, looks good, primo. So even if you just like this storage box that I made, hit the thumbs up, please. Alright, that'll be number 6. Let's get to number 7. Rear floodlight. Well, on the front we have the LED headlights, and the way it's designed on these mowers is if you turn it on, the machine's off, they will not turn on, so you don't kill your battery. That's a nice feature, it's fine. But I wanted a light on the back for, you know, just in case you're mowing in the dark, or just in case you're loading it on the trailer or unloading it on the trailer when it's dark, or what have you. Sometimes you need to see behind you, you know, you need to back up without, you know, backing off a cliff or something, or hitting something. So I bought this 3-inch LED floodlight, and on the back of these machines they have a 4-inch fuel tank that's kind of particularly on the left side. So with that in mind, I had to kind of mount it on the right side. So what I did is I incorporated it into the spring on the seat. So it has the hole through there with the bolt, and I have this 3/4 inch flat steel that I bent, and it goes up under there, up out of the way so you don't see it. And I didn't hurt the paint or damage it or drill a hole in this anywhere. So I just bent that piece of metal, drilled a hole there, and mounted it right there. and that works pretty good. And then I just bent it over here and drilled a hole there and mounted it there. So that's very nice. And when I purchased that, it didn't have a very long piece of wire with it. So the wire, it only came to about there, which is about 14 inches from the light, which is not very long. So I needed a full wire harness for it. So on my car, I had actually bought 2 spotlights that were also 3-inch LED spotlights with the same waterproof connectors, and each one of the lights came with a full wire harness. And I didn't want 2 switches for 2 lights. I wanted to hook them together and just have one switch for both the lights so they come on at the same time. So I got a Y connector, hooked them together. Long story short, I had an extra wire harness. So I was like, awesome, I have an extra wire harness. So I went and found it and incorporated it into this. So then under here, we have some wires that go along there. So I just zip tied them up to those other existing wires up out of the way and ran them up here under the engine compartment and wired it in there nicely. And it's a full wire harness. It has the relay and a fuse. The ground is down here, and I just zip tied all the wires up out of the way, coiled them up all nice, wired it up all nice so it looks really good. It's not in the way of the engine or nothing, or the dipstick, and it's very nice. And plus the way I wired it up is I don't have to have the machine running to use it. And when you turn it on, the button will actually light up so you know that it's on. Yeah, check that out. And it's not really dark yet, but look at that. Ain't that snazzy? Yeah. It works real good. I'm really happy with it. It was only like $30 for that. So that's very cool. Very cool. I'm very happy with this machine. And we have one more modification for you. Tow package. So, and also check out that smiley face and the heart. You know, my channel, it's all about people, love, and you know, making the best of the moment and doing what's right, helping people. So I put this universal tow package on here. I had to drill 4 holes, and it has the original bolt that goes through the hole in the mower. I had to drill these 2 holes, and then the 2 holes up here as well. And when you get these, you want to make sure you get the one with the support brace, which will give it extra support and make it extra sturdy. So now I can hook up my little mower trailer to it, and I can hook up my actual 600-pound 5x8 trailer that I can actually haul the mower around with, and I can pull the trailer with my mower. So that's just awesome. And that'll be the Husqvarna TS 354 XD garden tractor. Full review with mods, upgrades, and adjustments. I hope you enjoyed, and please hit the like button, punch the subscribe button. Please like, share, comment, and have a wonderful day. Be kind, and we'll see you later. Peace.